Hey guys, it's Bobby here. I want to make another sewing machine video. I'm going to apologize in advance for the quality of this video. The picture should be great. I actually got a new camera and I got a tripod, but the audio is terrible. This is a bridge camera. It's actually called a GE X400, and I've never had a bridge camera before. I always had point and shoots, and this camera actually adds a white noise that isn't present in reality to the video, so it's kind of hard to hear me. I've already made the bulk of the video, and it ran out of battery and ran out of memory card and stopped in the middle of the video. It was a 37-minute video so far, and I wasn't even done. So longest video I've ever made, but I had a lot to say. So I've already played the video and actually uploaded the bulk of it to YouTube. So this part now that you're hearing, and the end part, will be just things that I've had to add on to the video. So I know how the video looks and sounds because I've already watched it. I know that the quality of the sound is awful, so just expect that and know that I'm sorry that that happened. But I don't know, I might just have to get a refund for this camera because I can't be having all that extra white noise in the videos. It's okay when I'm sleeping, but otherwise not acceptable. So I'll go ahead and start the other part of the video, and thank you for watching. Bobby here. I just wanted to make another video about sewing machines and sewing. Now, I've already made a video about this machine. This is my Brother PC420. I've had it for 3 years now. But the last time I made a video, I hadn't had it for very long, maybe a year. So I didn't use it enough to really know as much about it as I do now. The other thing is that I didn't have a tripod. Now I've got a better camera and a tripod that I just got. So it'll be easier to show things on the machine because I'll have both hands free. But I also wanted to show, in addition to going over some of the things about the machine, just like how to wind the bobbin and the complete threading, because I missed those details in the last one just because I didn't have two hands free. But the other thing I wanted to show is my vintage machine. The vintage machine is a Metal Brother that's a straight stitch only, and I've had that one longer than I've had the PC420. I actually got the other one as an upgrade to this one, but this one is really beautiful to look at, but it's not very fun to use because it doesn't have the convenience features that the other one has. And just when I was threading it and oiling it and getting it ready for this video, I really was upset because it broke the thread. It didn't work right. The tension was messed up. It just wasn't easy. It didn't have the thread slicer, the needle threader. It was just not fun. So I remember when I had one of these similar machines when I was growing up, that's what I learned to sew on. The problem with it was that it would always break the thread. The bobbin would fall through the bottom. I couldn't see when the bobbin was running out, and it would get a bird's nest all the time, and that was just a mess. So I'm glad to have the new one over there, which is much better. But the other thing that I wanted to show is that I finally organized my sewing stuff. So now I have a drawer. I had this all in a plastic bin before, but this is all the stuff that I've had over the years that I've gathered from when I was a little kid up until now. Just sewing stuff. I've got vintage pinking shears in there. I've got electric scissors somewhere that my grandmas have given me. Just old stuff, and then I've got new stuff like rotary cutters. I have 3 rotary cutters, and I can only find one. I don't know where the other ones are, but I guess one is all you really need. But they've got quilting magazines and patterns, things like that. And then the bottom 3 are all just fabric and material. I didn't know I had so much, but the bottom one has batting and stuffing in it. But goodness, I had no clue I had all those. But one thing I did do is I put my irons up on display, so you can actually see that. I put them on the wall, and I think they look really good. I realized that every time I get bored with an iron, I buy a new one, or when one starts leaking, I buy a new one. So I figured it was time to organize them because I can't bring myself to throw them away. I do like to switch back and forth with the irons when I get bored with one, and it does make things a little nicer for me. It makes me want to iron again when I switch to a different one. So those are my irons. 2 of them are Rolentas. One's a Sunbeam, one's an Aliso, one's a GE, and one's a vintage travel iron by Universal. That's the name of the brand, but ain't that one. But back to the bed, I want to show you some of the projects that I have done or I'm working on. The first one is a runner, a table runner that I actually did a few months ago on the Brother PC420, the computerized one. And I actually got it out of this book. I bought this book. I guess it's by someone named Jerry Simon. And I got this at Books A Million. I looked at Joann's, and they didn't have any very good books for quilting, but This one, it really has a lot of details about different techniques. It came with a DVD or CD, but it's not very good. Actually, it won't play on my computer for some reason. But you know, it's got a lot of different instructions in the back. You can do patterns. This is the one I actually did. So that's how it turned out. Now, of course, this was my first real-time quilting, so it really didn't turn out perfectly, of course, but I had fun doing it. So you can tell my points aren't exactly even. You know, they don't really match up. It's kind of wrinkled, you know, like it puckered in places. But really, for a first time, I had a lot of fun. The way I quilted it was that I just stitched all the way through, just along the seams. I just stitched inside the seams. So that was easy. And I used this really ugly material in the back, just because I had a bunch of it to waste. So that's just hideous. But I had to get a use for it, so you can actually see the back. The lady who gave me or sold me that machine for $50, she actually restored machines with her husband, and so she gave me a bunch of this material when I got the machine, and I just had so much that I just thought, let me use some of it up and not waste any good material. So that's my hand sewing. See, this is why I sew my machine, because it was so much work to hand sew, and I don't think I did a very good job with sewing the binding on. But I just wanted to get it over with at that point. But I did have fun doing it, so that's the runner. The other thing I was doing was something called raw edge applique, which I'm not very good at yet either, but I had fun doing it. I got this off of a website, and I'm not quite done yet because I'm having trouble making the little flowers with the black thread, just because it's hard to do. That's very intricate work. But that's really fun. I was gonna like make a pillow out of that and give it to somebody, an old lady actually, but a friend's aunt who I think would appreciate it. But I'm not done with it yet, and I kind of abandoned the project. I think anyone who sews knows that you never have one project at a time going. You always start a bunch, and you never finish them. Probably you finish some of them, but you start more in the process. It's just not something that ever ends. But I also want to get into embroidery, so I've been looking at embroidery machines and just pricing them. So that's probably going to not make the quilting go very well if I get into that. But I have this material that I got when I made my first quilt in quilting class, which is in the trunk now. It's in my other video though. But this I want to make a tote bag out of, so that when I start going to classes more, I can actually bring my shears and my pin cushion and, you know, the knee lifter for the sewing machine and the presser foot and all that other stuff. You know, I would like to be able to make a tote bag, so I'm going to try to do that. I've never made one before, but I've seen some tutorials on YouTube, so if I do, I'll show you guys what I did. We'll see how it works. But I think that would be fun fabric to make a tote bag for sewing notions. I mean, that's really cool stuff. But the latest thing that I'm doing is a quilt that I'm just kind of doing on my own. I haven't really followed a pattern. I'm just piecing squares together, and I'm going to mirror image it with, it's going to have a yellow stripe. This color is going to go all the way down the middle, and each side is going to be a mirror of the other side. But these are the basic colors I'm using, and the points are actually matching up pretty well. They're 4-inch squares, and that's the whole thing's just 4-inch squares, so it's really simple. But I'm just going to actually make this to use on the bed, because this bedspread is just old, and I just want to have something more colorful and vibrant on there. This bedspread is like falling apart. I've had it for like 7 years. It's time to go, but it's so comfortable. But anyway, so that's what I've been doing lately. But the cat likes to run through the pieces when I start sewing them and laying them out on the bed, so that could be a mess. But those are all my projects of late, and there's the cat, speaking of which. But let me go ahead and just jump right into the demo of the Brother PC420 here. One thing I did buy at Joann's for $25 was an OttLite. I remember when I sold sewing machines and vacuums at Sears, we sold OttLites, and they were like $200, and it was like a fluorescent thing, and it was a floor model. So this one is actually a battery-operated LED light, and it helps a little bit. I don't love it. Reviews are pretty mixed. It was $25. They said it was normally $50, but everywhere it's $25, and they said it was on sale for $25. So yay, I got a special deal. But no, it's just not great. I think I need a fluorescent one, and one with a bigger bulb, because it doesn't shine very far. And I mean, it works. It's all right. You can see the difference. I take it away and put it back. So it's alright, but I wish it had a switch. I wish it swiveled. I wish it came with a cord. It came with a jack for a cord, but no cord. So I have an old cell phone charger that works, but otherwise it takes 3 or 4 AA batteries, or actually AAA, I think. But but I would rather it be a cord. But it's kind of nice because it's portable. It's got a little handle on the top, so that's fun. But this is my machine, and before I show you the actual machine, I want to show you some of the stitches that I did with it, just to show you a little bit about what it can do and some of the problems that it has as well. First of all, at the top here, and that's probably not going to show up very well, but I just made some straight stitches with the vintage one and the plastic one here. The Brother PC420 is on the top, and then the vintage one is down. And really, they look pretty much identical. There's no real difference in the quality of stitches. So that's good, because I thought that this plastic machine would not have very good stitch quality compared to the metal one, and that's just not true. They're identical, really. So that's good, except this one does so much more. But it does do letters, and so I wanted to show those. And the reason is because they're not great. The thing is, those are the only two sizes you can do. These are the three fonts. So you've got script, outline, and block, and that's it. But you can only do those three kinds, and you can only do these two in small and large. So I've got the small ones at the bottom and the larger ones at the top. But the script you can only do in one size. And what I don't like is just the general quality of the stitches. Like, for example, the L right there, it's not connected all the way. It missed stitches there, so that's terrible. Even the L here, I guess it just doesn't do L's very well, but there's a difference. This zig is not even on there, so it's like it skipped a space there. Maybe I should have used stabilizer. Maybe it's partly my fault, but I don't know. I did double the material over, but there's the back. But I would expect better. And you can't do lowercase letters at all with this thing, which kind of sucks, actually, because you might want to be able to do that, but that's part of the reason I went on an embroidery machine anyway. The other thing is this little alligator. If you see this, you know, he's kind of cute, but his legs don't connect. You see that gap right there? They don't connect at all. And there's a setting in with the sewing machine that you can actually play with the stitches, and if you set it, you can actually set it like negative, positive, you know, variations of certain setting numbers, and it will actually finally stitch it correctly after you play with it for a while. But that's crazy to even require that. The other thing is that this decorative stitch right here, and I just don't know how well that's going to show up, but that, if you look at it, it's actually crooked. The first one, this half, it starts way before this half. Like they're lopsided. It finally seems to straighten itself out. Each one gets a little better, and then finally the next to the last one looks almost perfect. But that's crazy. Why would it do that? It's computerized. It shouldn't be having to work itself out to make the stitches correctly. It's just crazy. And still, even that one's not perfect. It's not. It doesn't look like the design on the computer, or on the screen. So what I was doing here, I was actually going to show the mirror imaging function, and I ran out of bobbin thread when I was doing that. So that's kind of cool, actually, because I get to show you how to line the bobbin now. But what happened was I was just sewing this, and then it ran out, so I couldn't finish before I started the video. But what will happen is, if you want to do mirror imaging with this machine, you just press the button, and it will just take this design and just flip it. So you can sew two parallel right beside each other, and they'll be identical, hopefully, except for the inaccuracies with the machine. So it probably wouldn't be exactly identical, but it might be close. But I'm going to just go ahead and put the camera in the tripod now, and try not to bump it, and just show you how some basic things on the machine work. Alright, see, I've just gotten this tripod, so I'm still learning here. Okay, so the machine is in focus. So what I'm going to do is just wind the bobbin. So basically, you just take a bobbin, and you just, I always like to stick it in the hole. I know that bobbins have holes in them, and I always thought that the reason the hole was in there was to actually stick the thread through when you're threading it. But I've read some instructions that say to just wrap the bobbin around, or wrap the thread around the bobbin, and I don't know, I've never done it that way, so I'm just basically showing how to use the machine. You can do your own thing with that technique of how to fasten the thread to the bobbin initially. But you wrap it around here, so basically, and it's all numbered, but it's up through here, and around this guide, and then through this middle piece. Okay, and then I'm going to just stick it in the hole here. No jokes about that. Alright. So basically pull it through, and then you just push it on this, and then you're just going to slide this whole thing over. Okay, when you do that, did you see this? This light's going to turn orange. See, it's red right now, it's orange. Now with this machine, there's no need to declutch the bobbin, or the machine, so you don't have to pull the hand wheel out or twist it in opposite directions or push a button on it. You just slide this over and it's done. So now what you're going to do is just, I'll just pull it out. You're not going to do that. Skip that part. But let me fix this. Okay, and then you just run the machine. After it runs a bit, you can cut this. There is a built-in cutter on the plastic thing there, but it's hard to use, so I don't use it. And I usually actually hit the stop-start button. I don't like to hold the foot pedal, but just because I don't want to knock the tripod, I'm not going to do it right now. I don't know if you can see the screen or not, but in the screen, when you're winding the bobbin, it actually says on the display, winding bobbin thread. Okay, so I think that's enough. So now you just slide it back over, and this light's going to turn red again. Okay, so pick it up. And guys, if you ever forget something on the machine, like what I just showed you how to do the bobbin, just press this question mark button, and scroll down to how to wind the bobbin, hit OK, and then you're just going to hit next, 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 next. And it's going to show you exactly what to do step by step. And it has that for changing presser feet, for threading, for winding the bobbin, and for threading the bobbin, which is very easy, by the way. That's one of the best bobbin threading systems I've ever seen. So, I've actually been looking at some really nice sewing machines, some really nice ones, like the Janome Horizon, and the Brothers that have the camera built in, that are also embroidery machines with touchscreens, but they're about $10,000, so I will not be getting one of those anytime soon. I think a new car is more important than a nice sewing machine, but this one still is nice. It's just not amazing. I've noticed some things about it, like those stitches, and just the sound of it. You know, it sounds kind of plasticky when you're sewing. The zigzag stitch makes an awful noise. It sounds like something's about to break inside when it does that. Also, this variable speed control, you only get 3 speeds. I thought it was infinitely variable within this range. No. You've got high, medium, and low, and it doesn't change within the in-between part of those settings. It's just 3, so that kind of made me mad. But I do like that you can set this to be the width control, which is very easy to do, and then you can actually just use this instead of using the buttons here. So in order to thread the bobbin, what you do is, there's a diagram to show you which way it's supposed to wind. So basically, it goes like this. So your thread's coming out to the right. You're just going to pop it in. And it's very easy, actually. And then you just slide it through the guide, bring it through, and then slice it. There's a little razor right on there that will actually cut that for you. So you do not have to draw the bobbin thread up with this machine at all, which is really cool. You may want to when you're doing quilting, free motion quilting or something through multiple layers. They tell you to bring it up to the top. So you can do it then, but otherwise you don't really need to do it. So that's kind of nice, actually. You just snap the cover back on. It's really simple. And now to thread the machine, all you do is, it's very simple. Let's make sure the whole thing is in there. Okay, so it's numbered. So you're just gonna go through the numbers. 1, 2, okay, down through here. Guys, if your machine's not threading right, by the way, always make sure that your presser foot is up. It can't be down when you're threading, because if it's down, you're closing the tension symbols or the tension discs, and when you do that, it can't get in there properly, and so you can't do that. You have to thread it with this up, because that makes them open so they can receive the thread. So now you're just going to go up through the take up lever, then down. We're on step 5 right now. Then we're going to stage the thread. So step 6 is this little metal piece right here, and a lot of people miss this one, so don't do that, because if you're having problems, that could be the reason. Don't miss number 6. And then you just bring it through number 7, just draw it through there, and then just number 9 is the last step, which is the threader. Just press that, threaded. And I think I said this in the previous video, that works every single time. I've had this machine for 3 years. Never once has that not worked. It works every time. The other thing is that I've had this machine for 3 years, and never once have I gotten a bird's nest, and never once has the thread broken. So the tension has never been messed up. Of course, I don't really touch the tension. I think I've played with it twice, but that's really good to have that kind of track record, because I've used it quite a bit, and it still works like it should with no issues, because I know those vintage metal machines were kind of finicky sometimes. So now you can just start sewing if you want to. You're ready to go. So one thing this machine has, which I'm not going to show in this video. I don't think I have room to without knocking the tripod. Let's see. All right, I'm going to try it. Okay, and now if you can see that, right down there is the presser foot lifter bar. So basically, if you watch the presser foot while I'm doing this, you can see it going up and down. It's called a knee lifter, and a lot of machines have this, usually more expensive machines. This one was $500, by the way, and now it's on Amazon for $418. So I was gypped when I bought this. Of course, I've had it for several years now, so I don't feel too badly, but man, they're really devaluing the machine by making it that cheap, but it still gets great reviews. It's really still hard to find a negative review of this machine. There are a few out there, but it's hard. But I do use this presser foot lifter more than I thought I would, and I'm really enjoying it, actually. But the problem I'm having with it is that when I go to use it, I'll be hitting it with the right foot, and I'll accidentally step on the gas pedal instead, and make the machine go when there's nothing under it. So that's a problem. The other thing I'll do is that I'll be using the foot pedal to sew, and the material will be moving all over the place, and I can't figure out why. Well, I'm accidentally applying pressure to the knee lifter at the same time, and so the presser foot isn't pressing hard on the material. So that definitely happens, and has happened. But let me just go ahead and show you the machine sewing so you can see how it runs. Okay, so that's really fast. Let me go slower. And you can use this the slider with the stop-start button, or you can use it with a foot pedal. One thing I don't like is that you have to unplug the foot pedal to use the stop-start button. So you can't just leave the foot pedal plugged in and use that. If I try to use the foot pedal with the machine plugged in, it's going to tell me disconnect foot control. Now that's just stupid, because if it can say that, it could just let the machine start. I don't understand that. But let's see. So that's really slow for beginners. That's the lowest it'll go, and I've got the foot pedal floored right now. When I go up to medium, it's going to go faster, and then full speed. Okay. So I always sew with it on full speed, and I just control the speed with the foot pedal. One thing it does have that I love is the trimmer button. So you just press that, it's going to cut the thread. Nice. And you can program that to come on automatically as well. So if you want to do that, you can do that. And I don't do that because it only activates when you reverse, and I don't reverse all the time when I'm piecing, so I just find it easier to hit the button. But I'm going to raise this up, and I can pull that away without grabbing scissors. There is also a razor on the other side here that you can use to slice the thread. I did it when I was threading. I don't know if you saw it or not, but this is the needle up-down button. So the really cool thing is that you just press it once, it'll go down, press it once, it'll come up. I used to leave mine up all the time to take pieces out easily, but lately I've been leaving it programmed to be down because I want to be able to pivot more easily. So, and plus when you use the thread cutter, it automatically raises the needle. So, and I use it every time, so therefore I don't really need to leave it down, or leave it up actually. So the reverse button, you just hold it down. It's not something that'll stay in reverse, but you hold it down and it will it'll reverse slowly usually, but sometimes it reverses slowly and sometimes it reverses as fast as you're pressing the pedal. I can't figure out what makes it do which thing, but I guess that doesn't really matter. The free arm, let me show that. The free arm comes off, and there is a drop feed dog lever behind the machine. So if you want to drop the feed dogs, you just slide this and they'll drop. One thing I did want to show is just the accessories that came with it. Now, because I got this on Amazon instead of HSN, I didn't get the Teflon foot or the straight stitch foot, you know, the 1/4 inch foot. But I can get those separately if I need them. I'd also like a side cutter foot just for fun. But you know, that's okay. By the way, this machine takes different bobbins than a regular machine. You'll see little plastic bobbins. These are bigger. I think they're called class 66, but they might be the class 15 instead. I can't remember which is which, but it comes with 4. I've bought some extra ones. But pressure feet are stored in here, and then accessories are actually underneath. And it's got a walking foot and several other feet in there. A screwdriver, 2 screwdrivers, which I'm going to need one. I'm going to need one in just a second here. 2 screwdrivers, and a few other feet as well. Whoa, I did get the... Are you kidding me? I've never seen this before. I've had this machine for 3 years, and I've never seen this. I actually did get the Teflon foot. Oh, cool. Well, then disregard my previous comment. That's funny. Alright, so I'm going to put that back on. I actually did use this machine without this the other day. I've never used this without the free arm, with the free arm feature, but the other day I actually have a second job at night, and I wear uniforms for that job, and my patch was coming off the sleeve, and my pants needed to be hemmed, and so it took me about 5 seconds to do that on this machine, and it did it just perfectly, so I was very impressed with that. But I wanted to show you how easy it is to change the presser feet, first of all. So that's the side of the machine. You can see the razor, and this is the thread cutter that works so well. This here is the presser foot pressure control, so you can control how hard the presser foot is pressing on the material. Okay, and you've got 1 through 4 settings on there. I think I leave mine on 3 or 2 all the time. But most machines don't have that feature anymore. I don't know why, but they're all just not having that feature now. And that's really annoying to me, because I think that's something that you'd want to be in control of. So that's why I got this machine, one of the many reasons. But that's the feed dog drop lever, just so you can see it in the back of the machine, which actually looks pretty handsome, I think. I think it looks good. But it says brother there proudly, and this is the carry handle, which is really sturdy. You know how some of them have like a hollow back and you would feel this kind of thing on your hand? It's not like that. It's a really sturdy handle. The other thing is that this area is really open, so you can fit a nice size of quilt in there if you need to do that. So that's a really good thing, because a lot of machines have a really small harbor area. But to change a presser foot, all you're going to do is press the button on the back. Did you see that? You don't have to unscrew anything just to change a normal presser foot. And then to get it back on, you're just going to put it back under and then just lower the presser foot on top of it, and it will snap on if you get it right. I'm at a bad angle, but it will snap on if you get it right. But in order to change to the free motion foot, which I'm going to do here just to show you a little bit of free motion riding or something, just how that would work, you've actually got to unscrew. So basically you're going to take this screwdriver that it came with and just unscrew the shank, and then I don't like to take the screw all the way off just because I'm quite lazy actually. So what I would like to do instead is see if I can stick it on there without removing the entire screw. Sometimes I can do it and sometimes I can't, but I think it's almost going to work. It may not work. Okay, so just take it off. Okay, so I've got this on. Now I'm going to screw it tight. Okay, so now I'm going to drop these feed dogs. See that? Okay, and then this is it with the dust cover closed. It looks a lot different with it closed than with it open. But now I'm just going to do a little bit of free motion embroidery, or monogramming, just to write my name, just to kind of show you how that works. So in old machines, you could just keep the presser foot on there, and you could just set the presser foot pressure to 0 and not change it. But this one doesn't have a 0 setting, so you have to use this foot. But it came with it, so that's fine. I wanted to see another thing, guys. When you start this machine, it starts out with the needle all the way to the left, and I haven't found a way to make that default to a different setting yet. I don't know if you can or not with this machine, but if you want to make it in the middle, you can press that button there, the second one. But otherwise, if you want to make it anywhere in between that, you actually have to just move the width over, and it will slowly come all the way over to the right. I think there are 14 different places that you can lock that into, but I like it in the middle usually, unless I'm doing something crazy. But So I'm just going to lower the presser foot, and then to do like freehand, which I'm not good at yet, but to do freehand monogramming or embroidery, something like that, you just basically are writing with the machine. You're kind of thread painting, so you're just going to sew and move the material at the same time. I'm going too fast, actually. Alright, so I'm going to cut. Alright, lift. So I just wrote hello just to be silly, but that's how you would do that with this machine. And I can't really think of anything else that I wanted to show you. Let me show you some of the settings, just so you know. Alright, so we've got automatic reverse and lock the stitch, I guess, is what that is. Then we've got the automatic thread cutter. I think this is to edit a design. This is to change the size of the text. That's to elongate a stitch, so you can actually make a stitch longer or shorter if you want to. And that's mirror imaging, so it'll make the design like that, or it'll make it like that. It'll just flip it when you press that button, so that's really cool. Okay, it'll do repeat or single design. This one, I don't even know what that does. I don't even know. Let's see, it does so many things I've not even discovered yet, because I don't probably need them. But this one is for needle up, needle down, so you can actually change it if you want it to stop up or down. Okay, this is for single needle or twin needle sewing. This one is to make the width control be make the speed controller be the width controller. I don't know what my problem is today. I can't talk. But if you watch what's happening now when I slide this over, see that? Not only is this changing, the number changing, but the needle's moving as I do this. That's just really cool. I just love that. But I wanted to show you a zigzag too, because I don't like the way that it sounds when it makes a zigzag. I think it sounds like it's sick, like it has a cold or something. It sounds pretty awful. But I don't know if it's just because it's plastic, it's electronic, it's a Brother instead of a Janome or a Pfaff or Bernina. But for whatever reason, I'm glad it's not a Singer though. I hear the new Singers are pretty awful. I was looking at some of them just because of the embroidery function, and Singer really like the Brother PE or SE 400 for an embroidery machine, which is very similar to this one as far as features go, but it's got a monochrome touchscreen. It's not one that has multicolors, but it's only got a 4x4 hoop, so that could be annoying to be that limited the size. Alright, so now I'm going to just show the zigzag and just kind of show you how this machine sounds when it's doing a zigzag, which it's not good. You know what, you gotta, and remember this, raise the feed dogs if you're going to start sewing again. See, it makes a weird noise. Kind of clunky sounding, I don't know. Actually, it sounds fine now. It's not, you know how when you want to show someone something, it doesn't do it. It's actually sounding pretty good right now. But let me just cut the thread and show you what I did. So that was a zigzag, a blind hem stitch, and just another little stitch. But if you want to do a buttonhole, you just put the buttonhole foot on and slide this down. So that's really easy to do. But let me show you the vintage one as well, because I think I've said everything I have to say about this machine, and I've shown you how to do some things that that you might not have known. And so I think we're pretty much done with the Brother PC420 for now. Okay, so this is my vintage Brother. Now, it's quite a different animal. It's all metal. It feels very solid, and it's very pretty. One thing I don't like though is that this is the thing to control the stitch length. So you've got to go up for reverse, you go down for stitch length, and then there's this gauge here, and you've got to actually like turn it to the number that you want, and then you hit the lever down until it stops, and then that's where it's going to be, and that's how you know what setting you're on. It just seems so weird. Why didn't they just put numbers along the side here, and you could just move the lever where it should be? That's just silly. But the bobbin winding thing is here. That doesn't always work the best. But this one is one that you have to declutch. You have to turn the small wheel inside counterclockwise to make it disengage the needle while you're winding the bobbin. This is actually the feed dog control here, so you can actually have different settings. You can actually change it, how high you want it to be up or down, but that's kind of cool. It looks good. The light is in the middle of the armpit here, and that's really very annoying because you burn yourself when you're reaching for the presser foot. I actually had to learn to reach for the presser foot from the other side now. And the switch is there, so if you're doing a quilt or something, it'll snag. I think it looks cool, but the light switch, and the machine doesn't have a power switch, so that's just the light switch. But that can be extremely annoying to have to deal with. So I'm just going to show you a few stitches here, or just not a few stitches because it only does one. This is kind of like one of those things that it's, that's like a jack of all trades, a master of none, and this is like just a master of one because it only does one thing and that's it. So let me just show you how it sounds and works. Alright, so I'm going to pivot, and now I actually have to do everything myself. It's crazy. You see how fast that goes? That's pretty cool. It's got a nice motor in it. It's actually not the original motor. This was restored by somebody before I got it. I bought it from a lady who restores machines with her husband, and so she actually put an aftermarket motor on it. Probably the old one was shot, but that's the motor. Let me just show you that while I'm sewing. Probably time to change the belt, and I do have a spare belt, but that's pretty much it for that sewing machine. If you want to change the presser foot pressure, you can do that there. You just push that, push down, tension is there. You don't need a screwdriver to change the needle because it's got one of those like paddle kind of things, so you can just twist that. So that's nice. That's actually a better feature than the brother, which is different. But winding the bobbin's not as easy. I do like the solid metal part. Let me show you how the bobbin works. And see, now I have to reach for scissors because I don't have a button on this one. So basically, bobbin, you slide this open, and then the bobbin is in there. So it's in the little case. So, this is the kind of machine I learned to sew on. One very similar to this, but it was called Standard, and it was actually more curvaceous. This one's a little bit too square for my liking. I actually prefer the ones that are Hey guys, it's Bobby here. Yeah, the video just ran out of memory, and it stopped recording me. So, since I have made the other part of the video, I've already been to work and come back. Now it's 2 something instead of 6 something in the evening. So it's dark outside the window. It's not light anymore. But where I was when I was showing you the other video, I was actually just taking out the bobbin to kind of show you how that worked. And I don't know. I think I already showed you how it came out. But you basically slide this part open and just pull it out. So the problem is that it'll fall and it won't stand securely if you don't have this lever pulled. This is what holds it in. So when you're putting it in, you've got to do 2 motions. It's really very difficult to make work properly. But it's still a great machine. I do like it just for the beauty, not necessarily for the ease of use. But it is a solid performer. It does one thing and one thing well. Kind of like a lot of the vacuum cleaners out today, they're plastic and they have HEPA filters and attachments, and they do bare floors and have turbo tools, but they don't clean the carpet. And the old vacuums, they only cleaned the carpet. That's all they did, but they did a great job. So it's kind of like that. But this machine actually came with the carrying case, which has the alligator skin trim on it and the original cellophane right on the handle. And it also came with an extension table, which actually fits in the end here and actually extends your work surface. So for quilting, that's kind of cool. But I don't use it because I don't really use this machine very much. But I wanted to go back to this machine because I thought of some more stuff, like I didn't say enough about it already. But the one thing that I keep forgetting to say in my video about this is that these buttons here, this is attention to detail, these buttons are actually coated with like an acrylic covering over the graphic so that over time the graphic won't wear off. So That's really cool because, you know, that's just like an attention to detail kind of thing. So very fun, you know, feature. But the thing is, they didn't do it on these things, and these are the ones you press more. I don't even use this part sometimes. I just use, this is the button I use the most, and so I have a feeling that graphic's going to wear off before any of the others. But I try to be gentle with it. I don't have nails, so you know, that should be okay. But I don't want the graphics to wear off. It bothers me when the graphics wear off of things. But I did do this stitch. I don't even know if you can see that. I did do this stitch on the machine to show you that that's what it looks like. I was trying to show you mirror imaging before, so since the video quit on me, I had a chance to do that before I started the video again. So the one on the right was the one I had previously, and the one on the left is the new one. So that's the idea of mirror imaging. So just so you understand that. And I think that's going to finalize the video. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions about the machines, just let me know, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.